Hello ladies and gentlemen, Reginald Scott here, and I'm on my way to my very first road race in Brunei, sponsored by Polar. The team is called Life Behind Bars. It's a brand new team in Brunei, and I'm very honoured to be a member of that team. We're just turning up now to the car park here, where the meeting place is for the rest of the guys. I'm going to try and take a few snapshots, a few videos today if I can, just to show you the activities before and after the race. Fortunately, I've got no cameras on my bike today because it is a closed road race, so don't need them for cars, but also I couldn't find a way to properly mount them on my bike for the race, so rather than panic about it, I decided to leave them at home. So sorry for that, but it's something I'll invest in the future. All right, see you later. Morning guys.
Morning. Morning. Gimana nih? Kiri kanan. Depan belakang. Side. Side.
Morning boss.
Morning.
So this is my bike set up ready for the race. I've got my race number on here, 153. It's made out of plastic and it's just secured on with a set of tyre wraps, cable ties, and then down here I've got my transponder, which is attached to the forks again with a cable tie. That just lets the race organisers know where I am on the race and if anybody's cheating, which hopefully nobody will try and do today. It's going to be a good fair race. So I'm a little bit nervous before the race, so what I thought I'd do is come and bother the other riders while they're doing their preparation and see what they're up to. What are you doing, Sefazan?
I just need space, one more space.
You missing one?
Yeah.
How come?
Because this one used to be 11.
Ah, you're switching the wheels again?
No. It's only my spare.
Mm-hmm.
So not worth it.
So you're going with the carbon one on the back and the aluminium on the front for better braking?
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea actually, it's quite good. You happy with your mean machine?
Yep. Go fast later.
I'll let you get on with it.
See you later, mate.
Yeah, I hope you can tell some jokes later. I want to see your sense of humour. Oh, another nice bike. Look at that. Love the colour scheme on that. Matches the team. So we've got two teams here today. We've got Team A and Team B. Team B are in these brightly coloured tops. The reason why we've got two different tops is because both teams aren't allowed to wear the same kit. So Team A are going to be in the black, and Team B are in these, like I say, nicely brightly coloured tops. And I actually quite prefer brightly coloured cycling kit. I think black is not my cup of tea, but you know, got to do what the boss says. Look at this, all looking really professional this morning. So this is a brand new club, brand new team in Brunei, the Life Behind Bars team. And this is going to be our first race, so I guess everyone's very nervous, very excited. We're going to try and do the best we can, and we're not expecting to get any podium positions today, you know, as our first trek out as a team. But like I say, we're just going to do the best we can and learn from the experience really as a team, because some of us have never raced before, or some of us haven't got much experience racing, so it's important to learn as we go. How's it going?
Yeah. Good.
Feeling confident?
No.
This is our team captain for Team A. Just pinning his numbers on his shirt.
Hello.
Hello to YouTube. And this was going to be our team car, this massive Ford here, as we are actually sponsored by Ford. But unfortunately, according to UCI rules, diesel cars are not allowed, and cars over 1.6 meters, I think it is, are also not allowed. So this vehicle has basically been grounded, and so we're having to use one of the other riders' cars as our team car today, which is really unfortunate because this is like one of the coolest looking badass team cars you could ever have, right? I mean, it's probably quite scary to even come near as a cyclist, but it was very nice of Ford to give us that, so shout out to our sponsors Ford. But unfortunately it's not really usable as a race car. We could still probably use it for training. There's one of the teams going by there in his orange jersey. Some more people preparing over there. It's still fairly quiet. I think we're going to have something like 196 riders, 30 odd teams. There's going to be a big event when it finally gets underway, and we're expecting rain. We're expecting quite a lot of rain actually. If you can look at those clouds up there, it's going to get awfully wet, which is okay because I got winter tyres on my bike and I've got alley rims, so hopefully I'll be alright, and hopefully we won't have too many crashes or accidents out there. Hopefully none, but well, things do happen, don't they? So I'm sitting in my friend's car at the moment, just waiting, and it's getting surprisingly hot actually, despite the fact that it's going to rain very shortly. The sun's just come out, so I'm just trying to keep out of it for a bit. I've got a little bit of sun cream on, but not much, because I expected it to be dark and miserable today. But I think the Brunei weather might just surprise us again. So a little bit of advice about racing. One thing that I would say is that if you're going to race, make sure your bike is prepared well in advance. Get it all done at least a day before the race, everything sorted out, so you don't have to worry about it on the race day itself. That's why I'm sitting here in the car kind of just resting, because while everyone else runs around, because I've already done all my prep, so I don't need to worry about it too much. And the other thing is, don't change anything on your bike before the race, say about 10 rides in advance, or at least 2 weeks in advance, because if you say switch something major on your bike, like you change the wheels or you change the bars or you change the seat, anything like that for something new, you haven't really ridden it enough to have a good feeling as to how that's going to perform on the day. And when you're then pushing yourself to quite an intense level, you don't want anything to be different, you don't want anything to be weird, so it's always best to stick with what you've got. So say if you bought something online and it arrives like 2 days before the race, don't bother, because it's just going to throw you off on the day and it may go wrong, and that's the last thing you want on the ride. So that's my little bit of advice about racing, and maybe I'll do some more tips later on when I have more information.
Eh, itu tim tribe di sana dah. Sana pula, bah.
Persilakan. Puan, muda muslim.
Kau aja.
Just waiting in the queue now to register. You see some more of the teams getting ready. Everybody's looking very nice and professional. Team Giant over there. Got the police with us here today. We'll be escorting the ride. Thanks guys. I stick the light coloured lenses on today, but I'm kind of regretting it now because everyone's wearing sunglasses. And there was me thinking it was going to rain, which it still might do, but let's hope so. Yeah, I was you were going to be waiting a long time to get remember because you're doing presentation first, so these are the winners. I thought this purple one was going to win. I don't think so, no.
Tempat kedua, Chin Chiu Fan. Tempat pertama, Raisa Putra.
I'm guessing these are the sprinters and people on the rock climbing and things like that. survived. I dropped this bottle during the race and I've actually managed to find it and it's not crushed. That's awesome. Still got a little bit inside as well. Oh, I'm really pleased about that. I like this bottle. So, the LOF Cycling Challenge is over. This is my medal that I got. It's the 6th LOF. It's the first one I've ever done. We've got a beautiful medal here actually. I'm a finisher. So I managed to get in the 20% time of the first rider to cross the line, which is good. There's a beautiful map of Brunei on the back here actually. A gorgeous medal. It's really heavy as well. Some serious weight in it. I'm very pleased with it actually. It's nice. So, what can I tell you about the events of today? I made a tactical mistake straight out the beginning of the race. I was under the misapprehension that it was going to be a rolling start for the first few kilometers, which technically it was, but for some reason they just didn't control the speed of the riders at the front very well, and it picked up speed pretty quick, and I ended up going to the back of the pack, which was a dumb thing to do, because then as soon as they were released, that was it, you know, they were gone. Had absolutely no chance to catch up with them, so got dropped out the back, ended up with a small group of riders like myself. They got dropped off the back, and basically it was playing catch up the whole day, and we weren't too far behind the main riders actually. We did all right, but our group was moving fairly slowly. Nobody really wanted to take the lead because they didn't want to burn themselves out. Me and a couple of other guys kept moving up the front to try and keep the pace going. Towards the end, about sort of 60 to 70 kilometers in, we started to make small attacks on the front. I dropped my bottle about 70 kilometers in, and I've just gone and found it and picked it up, which is quite good. And then we also had a rider go down in our team. We had one rider, I think, that didn't finish through cramp, and we had another rider who unfortunately got involved in a crash. I missed the crash by something like an inch. I managed to just avoid the rear end of the bike that went down in front of me, and like I say, unfortunately one of our riders got a pretty nasty graze on his back and his hand from that crash. Basically he was following close behind another rider, and they stopped, or they slowed down fast. He couldn't brake in time, went into the back of them, and then somebody else went into the back of him. So yeah, quite a nasty crash. Wasn't the only crash of the day, there's quite a few today, but it was certainly probably, I think, the worst crash of the day. So he's got a story to tell. I've got his bike in the back of the car actually. I'm going to take it home and see what I can do for him with regards to repairing the bike. But yeah, that was the 6th LOF challenge. It was 105 kilometers. I actually started my computer a little bit late. Forgot to press go on it, so I lost about 6 or 7 kilometers of the overall distance. But my Strava was on, so you can check it out on Strava if you want. Got a quite good average, 33 kilometers an hour average, just over. And it was tough. It was the toughest 105k race I've ever done. 105 kilometer race I've ever done. I mean, we trained for it. We did a few long distance rides, and we did a few 105 kilometer rides to train for it, but just wasn't ready for it. Whatever reason today, just not feeling it, and you know, couldn't keep up with the main group. So better luck next time, I guess. There's always next year, and you know, our club is new, so we've got a lot of training to do. Other things that happened during the ride is my saddle actually came loose. I don't know whether it was all the pushing on it or whether it was all the hitting potholes and things, but the bolts on my saddle came loose, and I could hear this rattling noise, which was very uncharacteristic of my bike, because I tightened everything down the night before. I checked everything and then just ignored my saddle because it's always been in the same place under the same tension, and yeah, the bolts came off. So my saddle was rattling around. I didn't even notice, you know, it didn't move, just the pinch bolts at the top of the saddle sort of were vibrating. And I've actually rubbed like a layer of the plastic clean off my saddle, so I must have been really pushing hard down into the saddle today, because I've rubbed the surface of the saddle away. It looks like I'm going to need a new one. My feet are absolutely killing me. I'm waiting for a new pair of shoes because the shoes I have right now are too small for me. I've ordered some, so they're hopefully on their way to Brunei now. I've got a pair of lightweight Bont shoes to replace the city shoes that I have, and I'm hoping they're going to be much better for racing and also better for my feet, because they're malleable carbon soles. They're the ones you can heat up and adjust the size. So because my toes right now are absolutely killing me, they're really cramped up from rubbing on the inside of the shoes that are just too small for me, so that wasn't good. But I gave it my all. Right towards the end, you know, I passed a load of people on the hills. They were just, I think they'd pretty much finished, and they just couldn't catch me, so the small group that I was in kind of just accelerated there and went up the hills, and as soon as I got onto the flat, I just put my head down, and no one ever caught me, so that was good. And came sprinting across the finish line, even though I was late, but got a round of applause and some cheers from people who were standing watching when I got out of the saddle to do the last sprint across the line, so that was good. Put a bit of a performance on, you know, even though I'm nowhere near first. It's always nice to do your best, and you know, might as well, when you're on the last kilometre, put everything into it and look good. So there you go, that was the LOF challenge. Hope you enjoyed what footage I managed to do, and if you've never done bike racing, or you've never done any big sporting event on your bike like this, then I definitely recommend it. It's a lot of fun, and you end up with a medal at the end of it as well, so that's always good. Anyway, thanks for watching, folks, and as always, stay safe.
Yeah, man, I prayed so long that I get up out this home and I make it to the top all on my own, but why does it feel so wrong? Man, I've been feeling all alone, and everything around me been moving slow. I've been waking up in sweats, I'm having visions of death. I used to never have worries, but now I'm having regrets. I ain't never ever sleeping, I'm never getting no rest. I want myself after death, so y'all remain unimpressed. What the heck?
Clocking Xanax for the stress, I got a lot on my chest. Sometimes I think about death and realize I'm really blessed, so I guess I can't complain. Anxiety on my brain until you walk in my shoes. Don't tell me you feel my pain, don't tell me you could relate, cause trust me, nobody can. The people who used to hate is not claiming they was my man. Success is part of the plan, and you just ain't in the picture. Spill my thoughts when sipping liquor, call my exes like I miss them. Reminiscing of the past, when all was good with no problems, before the bills even mattered. Not talking Hillary Rodham, all the bad times and memories, praying that I forget them. If the haters hate, then let them. Don't worry, never regret the things you done in your lifetime. Critics must be quite